We hear the word integrity flying around social circles, but what the hell does it mean?
Hey, now I got zero, I got two, and I got zero. I'm standing at zero. Anybody want to go higher than zero? I got zero right now. Okay, over there, no, zero. I got none, I got zilch, I got pumpkins. I got zero, nothing. Hey.
Activision. Guys, today I want to talk to you about something really serious, okay? All jokes aside. Now, Bobby Kotick, the CEO of Activision, is being really mistreated. It's truly disgraceful. Now, he's probably got a yacht, probably. And, you know, he needs to pay his staff that make him his lobster. All those people that hold the giant leaves. And now, he's been hit with a 50% reduction in his salary. He might need to actually go back to acting like he's done in Moneyball, I don't know if you've seen that, and start acting again just to make ends meet. All I know is if they made another Titanic, I think we know what character he would play.
I have a child! Get her out there! Please, I have a child!
Today it's been announced that Bobby Kotick, the CEO of Activision, has been hit with a 50% reduction in his salary and 50% reduction in his bonuses. I just really feel bad for the guy.
50%? What's your case?
Our case is simply this.
He's a pedantic, pontificating, pretentious bastard, a belligerent old fart, a worthless, steaming pile of...
I have a child!
Let's get into it. There's a lot to cover today. Not only do I want to talk about his actual salary reductions, but I want to talk about how we actually got here in terms of what he's done to Activision, what he's done to Blizzard, and what does that mean for the future of Activision. All this and more after the drop.
All you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth.
Activision.
How dare you?
Okay, so where do we start? With Bobby Kotick and Activision. As we mentioned the other day, EA originally appeared as the serpent in the Garden of Eden, we remember that. But what many don't know is Bobby Kotick actually was the inspiration for the villain in Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction. Activision's profits have skyrocketed since 2000 to 2020, fine. But in the process of Bobby's reign, if we were to start back in 2006, he was an integral role in actually acquiring Blizzard in 2006, which ended up, of course, merging Activision with Blizzard and making the name Activision Blizzard. Since then, of course, we've seen Blizzard's reputation completely changed. From being the most cherished, or one of the most cherished and respected gaming studios, time and time again delivering groundbreaking quality and trend-setting games that many other gaming studios envied and emulated, to now becoming one of the most damaged brands in the gaming industry. From their pivot now to predatory monetization strategies, to mobile, to bending over backwards, just so they can please particular governments that want to suppress speech, we all remember that, just so they can make a few bucks in that particular region. And aside from that, of course, there was Guitar Hero. They pillaged that to its death. From 2005 to 2018, they brought out more than 21 different entries across different platforms, only to completely destroy the franchise in 2018 when they brought out Guitar Hero Live, some of the, if not the worst monetization we've ever seen in gaming. There's of course more, with notable mentions like the famous red dot in Call of Duty and other monetizational strategies that would make anyone's blood boil. Activision.
What the hell?
Put the money in the bag.
But this brings us back to Bobby Kotick. Now, a few months ago, he was eligible for a $200 million bonus because in his contract, he was eligible to recoup previous bonuses if he was able to make it all back in one particular year. COVID-19 hit, there was more people at home playing games, and because they were confined to their home, they were purchasing more games, which brought up Activision's sales targets, which allowed him to also receive the bonuses from the previous years that he was eligible for, and it was all lumped together. What's important to remember is when it was announced that he was going to receive the $200 million, it was the same time that Activision was letting go of nearly 190 staff.
Lobsters for dinner!
But previous to that, in the years that he was now eligible for those bonuses, 2019, 2020, and of course 2021, Activision had let go of people every single year. But the worst part was in 2019 they let go of 800 staff in one go. But he's still getting his bonus. So what I'm getting at with all of this, just to bring you up to speed with who Bobby Kotick really is, he's introduced some of the most predatory monetization strategies we've ever seen destroyed games along the way like Guitar Hero, and of course, infected Blizzard with some of the most horrendous corporate monetization evil strategies that has ultimately decimated the actual brand and reputation that Blizzard really had with the hardcore community and just, consumers in general. But today, he's getting a pay cut. As noted in a recent filing, Kotick's agreed upon base salary has been voluntarily reduced by 50% to align with the company's targets. This equates to an $875,000 reduction. In line with this, Kotick has also agreed to reduce his target annual bonus by 50%, a potential reduction of $1.75 million for fiscal years 21 and 22. But would you look at that, guys? Come on. Bobby Kotick, he's misunderstood. He's actually a good guy. He's voluntarily taking a 50% cut. Maybe he's born again. Maybe he's just seen the light and thought, I need to change my ways. The thing is though, so many years before he's been happy to take tens of millions of dollars, while many of his employees only make $40,000 a year. And at the same time, year after year, he's been happy to let hundreds and hundreds of people go over the years. So why the change now? The board worked with the company and has established a pay program for the CEO that reflects shareholder feedback, incorporates market best practices, and continues to directly connect pay to performance, the filing reads. Doesn't sound voluntary to me, just putting it out there. It sounds like there's been a bit of pressure from the board, from the feedback from the shareholders, and the external data that's all about the market's best practices. And it's all culminated in the moment where Bobby Kotick wants to reduce his salary by 50%. However, Kotick can still earn an annual bonus for those years up to 200% of his new smaller salary based on a host of factors laid out in the filing. The filing notes that under Kotick's leadership, the company's market capitalization has increased from less than 10 million to over $70 billion. Phew, guys, it's gonna be okay. False alarm. He's still able to get a 200% bonus of his new base salary. He's still going to be able to refuel the yacht he probably has. Now look, I know that he's increased market share from 10 million to 70 billion. That's an increase of like 8,100% or something. I'm not saying that CEOs don't deserve to be remunerated when they do a good job, but what I am saying is in the same breath of collecting a gigantic bonus, you're literally laying off staff repeatedly, every year pretty much now. Sometimes as harshly as 800 staff, and if the company constantly needs to let go of its workforce, pretty much every year now, time and time again. And at the same time, Bobby Kotick's walking away with $200 million bonuses and tens of millions of dollars of normal salary and bonuses. There's obviously a problem there. It looks bad and it's just bad form. I think it's clear through the gaming community protests, through social media, the bad headlines, the layoffs year after year, and the bad press that's followed that. The board, from the feedback from the shareholders and also looking outwards in the markets in general, they needed to do something. And they needed to obviously have a good old chat with Bobby Kotick. And that's why we're seeing, in my opinion, why we're seeing this voluntary decrease in his salary of 50%. And for Activision to come out and say the reason why they're dropping his salary is to make sure that Activision hits their targets. Look, to be honest, I think it would have been a much better headline if it read, Activision doesn't want to be scummy anymore and let go of staff time and time again just to pay their CEO hundreds of millions. And one last thing, it's not like the leftover salary from Bobby Kotick is going to be, dispersed amongst its employees? That's not going to happen. It's going to be thrown into R&D. So Activision can figure out how it can be more evil. You watch. Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Love you, appreciate you. I'll see you guys next time. Laymen out!